guys, what is up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica Kalil and I am so happy that you are here. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell so that you get the little ring and alert when I post another video. I am guessing you are here watching this video because you are considering applying or submitting for the Face Awards all over the world. So it doesn't just have to be in the US. There are so many Face Award competitions all over the world, and I actually won the Face Awards for the US in 2017, so that was last year, and I absolutely couldn't believe it. A big part of the reason I'm doing this video is because when I was contemplating doing it, I was a very small channel. I actually started my YouTube channel just so that I could enter the Face Awards a few months later. So I started my YouTube channel in either January or February. It was like the last week of January of 2017, and I started that channel with the goal of applying and submitting for the Face Awards. You know, I had 1 subscriber for the beginning of 2017, and I ended up winning the Face Awards, which is so amazing and miraculous, I think, in my opinion, as far as me being so small and so new to the Instagram and YouTube and all that, you know, social media industry. Not that I only was doing makeup for a year, I've been doing makeup much longer than that, but it was kind of like my first step to push myself out there and go ahead and go for it. Because I know there are so many insanely talented makeup artists out there and body painters and just overall creative souls out there that are considering the Face Awards. This video is for you. I hope it helps. I remember watching Raw Beauty Christie's video after the Face Awards and kind of helping me prep for mine. You know, she had a lot of tips and tricks and kind of motivation overall to go ahead and, you know, throw caution to the wind and do it. If you've been wanting to do this, if it's in your heart, if you've been, you know, been itching to just create something and you just don't have a reason to, this is it. Go ahead and do it. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Oh, one more thing. This look is not my everyday look. I was just inspired by some really dramatic purple eye looks on Instagram and try my hand at it and do a little tutorial. So that is in the video before this video. So if you want to see the tutorial on how I achieved this eye look, then go back and look at the video before. So here are my 8 tips / advice to help you get started or as you are in the competition to kind of keep you going, and just overall motivation to be a good person, have great ethics through this process, but not only that, but to be true to yourself. Which brings me to tip number one, and that is to be true to your style and yourself. So if you're someone who loves to play with color and, you know, you're constantly wearing wigs, or you have, you know, this very light pastel happy vibe to your looks, I would suggest you keep that style throughout. I mean, obviously you're going to be challenged. There's going to be different, you know, themes and concepts that you're going to want to kind of adhere to or adjust to, but overall I think, you know, there's a reason why you have that specific style. Something in you is pulling out that, you know, you love bright colors, or you love dark colors, or you love, you know, smaller detailed strokes, or you're more of a get the paint on, I want it splattered, I want, you know, a messy look, avant-garde. Whatever your style is, I'd say stay true to that, because not only is that right in your heart, but that's also what your friends and followers have grown to love. So you want to stick to your style, not necessarily in the box of your style, but the overall concept of kind of the way you stroke your brushes. That's what I'm trying to say. For example, I know that there were a few artists in the last top 30 that when we got a new challenge, all of a sudden their whole style completely changed, and it was like nothing they've done before as far as what they've showcased on their Instagram or YouTube. Very different, and it was amazing, beautiful work, but to me, as getting to know certain artists in a certain way, I personally feel, and maybe the judges felt this way too, that it took away from, you know, that genre of an artist. I don't know if that is making any sense, but I feel like that is when those artists kind of fell off the countdown to make it up to top 6. If you absolutely want to change your style and change your vibe and everything, and it gets you further, then more power to you. This is just my suggestion and my opinions on kind of what I've seen through last year's Face Awards and previous as well. Okay, tip number 2, and that is to think overall composition, art composition. Where are your colors? Where are you, creating specific details? Because you have to keep in mind that when this photo, you submit one photo for your look for the Face Awards to kind of market and promote that next round and challenge of looks, you literally are a tiny little picture next to everyone else's picture. And that is kind of how they start promoting kind of the first time you get to see, the public gets to see your look of whatever that challenge was. So keep in mind that although you can do incredible detail and, focus in on little spots, but that's okay and that's beautiful, but you also want to look at the whole picture and kind of zoom out. And when you're drawing and kind of sketching out how you want your look to be, make sure you step really far away and say, are these blocks of colors, or is this blending making sense from looking at it from far away? By far away, I mean, what if your picture gets shrunk to 1 inch by 1 inch? Is it still compelling? Is that going to make someone want to click on that photo and even more so click on the link to vote for you? I think it's really important. My strategy was to think about what the overall population would be drawn to. And for me, the way I thought of it was, lots of color, very dynamic, very big. That's kind of where I went with it. But I mean, of course, other people have done it different ways and have done really minute, small detail and not as big in your face. And that is okay. That has gotten people very far. I'm just saying that kind of was my strategy. Look very big. Overall composition, does this make sense? If it's zoomed out, does it still look attractive? And will somebody want to click on that photo? Of course, always coming back to, is it still true to your style? Tip número 3, complete the look. Tell a full story. And I know it's hard to think about, like, how is that a full story? It's just a makeup look. But it can be, because you are getting these challenges and people love story time. They just love it. They want an arc. They want a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you can draw someone in and kind of sell them on the first 60 seconds of your video, I feel like you can get them on your team. You can get them on your side to vote for you. Not only will they be, impressed with your skills and your talent, but not only that, they will start to feel like they're on this journey with you, because you're able to communicate and convey this magical story, whatever it is. I would just, hope that you had a beginning, middle, and an end. If you're making up a story, if you're retelling, a fairy tale, whichever way you're doing it, make sure it has your own twist, but you're completing it. And to add to that, there are many different ways to complete a story. It doesn't all have to be, speaking out a story. It can be, you can be physically acting. You could be acting without vocals and using music. But I mean, through the makeup also, you want that to be a transformation and that to finish the story. You started at one place, there's this transformation, and then you ended here. And that is what is going to connect an audience to fall for you and fall in love with your work. All right, tip number 4. I'm definitely going to lose count as we keep on going, just because I'm terrible at math. But anyways, let's go ahead and keep on going to tip number 4, and that is ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Maybe nobody knows you're doing this, but you can secretly reach out to people who live in your area, who are on Instagram or Facebook, and that's what I did. I knew that I couldn't film myself acting. So as far as the intro, I filmed myself for all of the application and the actual tutorial part, and obviously my voiceover and storytelling was all done by me. But I knew that if I wanted to go out, in an environment where I was outside or in a tunnel or on the floor, in my octopus look, I needed someone else to film me. And I needed to focus on telling that story. And that's what really helped, I think, for me to really, really act and connect with the camera in that way. So, you never know who is good at filming or who is good at editing or who, has some really good music that they write that you're going to be able to use in your video. So I definitely would say, if you're thinking of doing this, start reaching out to your resources. And especially with editing. I was so new to editing. I only used iMovie all the way through, me personally, but I did have a friend that was able to help me with certain effects, and that's okay. Like, sometimes you need some help. At the time when I first got started, I didn't have it all. I really didn't. I had my ring light, my camera, and my computer to edit, and I used iMovie. So there's no shame in using a free video editing software, but just know that it's okay to ask for some help when it comes to editing. Some people are freaking editing geniuses and whizzes, and they don't need the help. I, on the other hand, did, and there's no shame to my game. Next is tip number 5, and that is that the craft store and Amazon Prime is your friend. Please know that whenever you get challenges, sometimes you only have a week and a half to 2 weeks to come up with your idea. I mean, just thinking of what you're gonna do can take you 3 or 4 days. You know, you might be going back and forth in your sketchbook or starting to practice before you even kind of know exactly what you're gonna do. Then all of a sudden you have like 4 days, you know, 4 more days to actually apply the makeup, film it, edit it, and then after that it's constant promotion once it's due. So I definitely stay on top of it, but know that Amazon Prime is 2-day shipping and they have some crazy stuff. I'm telling you, I have found some wild props and things that I can glue onto my face at Amazon Prime, or costumes or hats or anything you kind of want to incorporate, or backgrounds. That is so awesome. It's 2-day shipping, and if you sign up for Prime, it's free. So I mean, there you go. I'm telling you. And then the craft store, go to Michael's, go to Hobby Lobby, walk around. If you can't think of what your idea is, or you're struggling, walk around, go look into, you know, look through the different aisles, and you never know when you can get inspired. And also do research on YouTube. You know, there's so many DIYs, there's so many how-tos that are at your fingertips. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that as long as you make it your own. It is your twist, and it's just like a little bit of inspiration from that. I mean, that's what we're here for. That's what all these tutorials are for. This is why we are sharing our work to inspire others. Also, watch some old movies. Like, I'm totally down for 80s movies. The Labyrinth is one of my favorites. I mean, any like supernatural or fairy tale or mystical, you know, movies kind of can inspire you, or even poems, you know, or like Greek mythology. There's so many really amazing resources out there that can really spark an idea in you. So don't feel like you just have to sit in your room with your pencil, you know, looking down like, how do I create, you know, this look with this challenge that I've never even connected to before in my life. Do some research, watch a few cool movies, go to the craft store, look on Amazon for really fun stuff or props, and make it your own. Okay, tip number 6, be nice and kind and loving to your competitors. I am a very competitive person, but I'm also a very caring person. So something that I feel like helped me along the way is to really connect to everyone who was in the competition. Show them love, show them support. They need it just as much as you do. And if you have each other's back throughout the process, hey, you don't know who's gonna end up being in the top 6, and you don't know who's gonna end up winning and who could end up helping you or doing a collaboration with you, or just really supporting you and promoting you. So the nicer you are and the kinder, you know, and supportive you are to others, that energy and karma is going to come back to you. And I think that's so important. I feel like a lot of times with competitions, you know, people get stuck in their head that like this is a war, like I'm going to win and I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat this person out. And it's, to me, it's like, you know, why do you think that way? And everyone has their own like game plan and their own thing in their mind that hypes them up, but the more you focus on yourself and like what you can create and support others while doing that, I feel like just brings so much more positivity and kind of will raise you up, and not only raise you up, but you can bring others with you. And I think that's really important. An example with this past Face Awards I was in, my friend Ashley had a really early call time. I think she had to like leave the hotel at 6 a.m. to film on her day, and she packed everything. She was all planned out, and then when she got to the film studio, she realized that she left all of her brushes on her bed. And, you know, she reached out to me and said, oh my gosh, like I'm already cutting into my film time. Is there any way you could come get into my hotel room, bring me my brushes, take an Uber? And I said, absolutely, 100%. She called down to the front desk, put my name on the room. I went in, got her brushes, jumped into Uber, you know, went clear across LA to give her her brushes. And she just was so thankful. And I didn't want her to do bad because she didn't have her brushes, just because I was competing against her. You know, I still wanted her to do her absolute best work, because then you know who the winner is. It's meant to be. It was supposed to be that winner. And not only that, but like, we've put so much time and effort into it, and money and, flying out, taking time off work, whatever it is. You really want each competitor to like bring a bomb look to the finals. Just keep that in mind. You never know who you're gonna end up with at a party or who you're gonna meet in the future, so be nice to them. And then to tag on to that tip or that point, please don't feed into the competition is rigged, or someone, went over 1 minute longer than, we're supposed to, or is she really using, the right products or whatever. You don't want to waste your time overthinking of things like that. There were rumors that the top 6 or some of the top 6 were paying people to vote for them, and it's just such ridiculous stuff. It's like, why would you get this far and then, do something that would get you disqualified? I don't get it. I really don't. But there will be rumors around there, and there will be haters. I got a lot of hate comments just because people didn't know who I was. They were like, well, who are you? Basically, who do you think you are that you could come and, apply to this competition when no one's ever heard of you? And, for me, that kind of gave me motivation to say, well, you're right. You haven't heard of me, but you will, because I have this motivation and creativity that you've never seen. So if you are a smaller channel, or heck, you don't even have a YouTube channel yet, but you're considering making one for this, I say 100% go for it. Because so many people thought that I wasn't going to make it that far, and I ended up winning the whole competition. So I hope at the very least that this video can give you motivation and you just kind of push you forward and compel you to actually, go get that camera, or, have someone help you create some kind of lighting and start doing it. And you don't need, very expensive makeup. You can go to the NYX store and just buy the bare necessities, and you can still get it done. I promise. Heck, you can even film on your iPhone, and if you don't have one, someone else's iPhone. I mean, get it done. Get it done, and you'll be so proud that you did it. And I'm already proud of you, because I feel like you are on the other side of the screen smiling and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And if you are one of those people and you do enter, please send me a message and tell me that you went ahead and did what you've been thinking about for so long. And I'm just really proud of you just for that. Okay, tip number 7, you have to promote yourself, especially if you are a smaller channel. Oh my gosh, I cannot say this enough. I mean, that was one of the rumors that, like, how could I have possibly got through and got as many votes as I did if I didn't have a big following? Well, let me tell you, it was a lot of work, but you can do it. I promise you. I did whatever I could on Instagram as far as posting as many, photos and videos and shouting out to people and sending my photo to other Instagram accounts that might, possibly, re-grab my look. For example, for our Animal Kingdom challenge, I sent my octopus look to an Instagram account called Octonation that was all about octopus, like totally had this huge following, and they just, there's this whole community out there that love octopus, and I think that's really cool. But I spent a lot of time and researched, if there were any groups like this. I sent them my photo of my look, and I just asked them, hey, is there any way you can help maybe re-gram this, or ask all of your followers to vote for me? And the guy who owned the account was like, absolutely, you are insanely talented. I want to show this to everyone. And that was just kind of like on a whim. I didn't know the guy who ran the account. I just was hustling and reaching out to people. The same goes for Facebook. There's so many beauty Facebook groups. And, that's sometimes now it's today's day and age, or with this generation, they're more, focused on Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube, which is all great, but start, diving into Facebook a little bit more. And there are a lot of beauty groups that would love to support you. I mean, as long as you're not completely taking advantage of the groups, and you actually do want to be in the group and comment and interact and be part of that community, if you can start building some trust within these certain groups, they will have your back. Oh my gosh, they totally will. I've made a lot of friends from these groups, a lot of support, and I just think it's outstanding that, if you hustle and you do research and you take the time to respond to every comment that people leave you as far as they're voting for you. I mean, it's hard to get to everyone, but say thank you. Hey, leave a screenshot if you voted for me. just some way you gotta start creating this community where people are rooting for you. And when you start showing that you're rooting for them, you end up getting that in return, which is amazing. Okay, sorry, I had to run out, have some dinner, but now I'm back. We're rounding out with tip number 8. I hope I counted right. If I didn't, I'll write the correct number down. My last tip for you all, and I'm sure I'm gonna keep on rambling, is to don't be afraid to redo your look. If you've put all this time and effort and planning and it's filming day and your look just is not coming together the way you think it should or was hoping it would, it's okay to start over. And I know that can feel so sad and really kind of put a damper on everything, but it's totally okay to start over. For example, I did my cyberpunk look about 7 times, I think. I practiced immediately. I feel like for cyberpunk it was pretty clear on what they were asking for. I mean, you could have gone outside of the box of like a cyberpunk, you know, robotic motorized type of character, but for me, I was pretty sure the direction I wanted to go in. So I started, you know, I did it one time with a bald cap, and then I did it mainly, you know, with face paints, and then I did it so many different ways, and there's all these like circuits that I wanted to include, and I did it over and over and over, and just none of them were coming along. And the night before I actually filmed, because I had my friend help me film, I had some of my Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders friends come in and do some dancing with me, because I had this whole plan and this story of like the tech bots and then the cyberpunk and then the oracle. I hope you guys have seen my cyberpunk video, but if you haven't, I'll also link that down below. But I practiced and practiced, and it wasn't right, and it was very frustrating and upsetting, and I really felt like it was going to be the end of the road for me because it just wasn't coming out right. And the night before, I probably painted my face 3 times. And full on, I mean, scrubbed my face, started again, scrubbed my face, started again, and I'll go ahead and pop these pictures in on kind of where I was at each stage of kind of practicing. And then it was the night before, and I didn't sleep all night, and I just said, you know what? I'm gonna do it today. And I ended up doing the look. I ended up loving the look. I ran out of time on my chest piece area, but overall I really enjoyed how my cyberpunk look came out. And there was a lot of trials and tribulations with that specific look, but it ended up coming together. Yeah, that was a much different experience than my Stone Queen, which I knew the concept right away. I knew what I wanted to do for the royalty challenge, but I did end up doing that look about 2 times before, and I'll pop those photos in as well so you could kind of see the progress, and I think you'll kind of get the idea of what I mean. What I meant at the beginning of the video as far as art composition and kind of how you're gonna look from far away, because my first take on the Stone Queen was very detailed if you looked really close up, but when you pulled away, I kind of just looked like that rock guy from like the Hulk movies. I think he's in the Hulk movies. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad. I'll put a picture of him in so you guys know what I'm talking about. But when you pulled away, my whole face just jumbled and blended together and kind of muddied together. Those are all my tips, you guys. That's all I have. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Please comment below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, you guys. I had fun talking to you. I hope I've motivated you. I'm on Instagram and Twitter as @GorgeousEffects, and I am on Facebook and YouTube, Jessica A.M. Kalil, and the same for Vero or whatever that is. Y'all know what's up. So to wrap this up, I hope you feel inspired, excited to get your makeup brushes out and your camera out and your lighting. And heck, if you don't have good lighting, go film outside, go film in front of a window. I mean, there's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way, and you can do it. iMovie is free. Go to a library, edit that. You can do it. I so promise. I believe in you. I hope to see some of your videos this year for the Face Awards. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being a part of my Jessie squad. And hopefully one of you all will be taking home this bad boy. This is the trophy for Beauty Vlogger of the Year for 2018. I'm so excited for you guys. It's such a fun journey. It's gonna be life-changing. You know, whoever makes it into the top 6, I'm so proud of them, and I'm so proud of all top 30. I'm proud of you if you even attempted to submit. Be proud of yourself. You're fantastic. Send me links to your videos because I want to see all of them. And have a wonderful day. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.